Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm Nur Ain binti Muhammad Nasir and my partner Nur Farhana binti Norman. We're going to present to you guys about Supergroup Amoebozoa and Opisthokonta. Okay, learning outcome. What we're going to learn is first, define the unique features of Amoebozoans and identify the members of Supergroup Opisthokonta.
Okay, so let's take a look for the first supergroup, which is the Amoebozoa. Okay, the Amoebozoans are protozoans that move by pseudopods. Okay, so from this picture, okay, this one is the part of pseudopods. Okay, pseudopods are temporary cytoplasmic projections of the cell membrane that are used for locomotion and also feeding. In particular, an amoeba moves in distinctively crawling-like manner. Okay, and then pseudopods form when an amoebozoan's microfilament contract and extend as the cytoplasm streams toward a particular direction. Okay, and then the amoebozoans usually live in aquatic environment where they are often a part of plankton.
The first amoeboids. They are protists that move and ingest their food with pseudopods. They undergo phagosynthesis for food. Okay, this is a process of phagosynthesis which they engulf their prey with a pseudopods. After phagosynthesis, the digestion occurs within a food vacuole. Okay, Entamoeba histolytica. Okay, this is example for parasitic amoeboid. It can live in the human large intestine and cause amoebic dysentery. Okay, amoebiasis can be present with several symptoms such as abdominal pain and diarrhea. Okay, Naegleria fowleri. Okay, Naegleria fowleri also known as the brain-eating amoeba. Why? Because it causes a fatal brain infection called naeglerosis.
Okay, so next is slime moths. Okay, slime moths classify as fungi, but they lack of cell walls and have flagellated cells at some time during their life cycle. Slime moths produce spores by meiosis, and the spores will germinate to form gametes. Okay, so for this topic, we have two species of slime moths. Okay, the first is plasmodial slime moths, and the second is cellular slime moths. Okay, plasmodial slime moths exist as plasmodium. So this one is a plasmodium. Okay, a plasmodium develops many sporangia when the conditions are unfavorable. Okay, so this one is a sporangia. Okay, and then for the cellular slime moths, it exists as uh, individual amoeboid cells. Okay, so when the conditions are unfavorable, the slime mold cells release a chemical that causes them to aggregate into a pseudoplasmodium. The pseudoplasmodium stage is temporary and eventually gives rise to a fruiting body in which sporangia produce spores. Okay, and then when the favorable conditions return, the spores germinate, releasing haploid amoeboid cells, and the asexual cycle begins again. Okay, so this picture is about the plasmodial slime moth's life cycle. Firstly, the sporangia formation begins, okay, and then this one we can see that this is a young sporangium. Okay, a sporangium actually is a reproductive structure that produces spores. Okay, and then meiosis restores haploid conditions and the mature sporangium will be formed. Okay, next, the mature sporangium release spores. Okay, the spores that produced by a plasmodial slime moth sporangium can survive until the moisture is sufficient for them to germinate. Okay, and then the germination gives rise to cells that can convert between amoeboid and flagellated forms. Okay, so we can see that this one is amoeboid cells and this one is flagellated gametes. Okay, and then two of the haploid cells will fuse to form a zygote that feeds and grows. Okay, we can see that amoeboid cells will fuse in karyogamy, which is fusion of nuclei. Okay, and then the flagellated gametes will fuse in plasmogamy, which is fusion of cytoplasm. Okay, and then after they form a zygote, they will produce a multinucleate plasmodium once again. So this one is a mature plasmodium.
Okay, next is supergroup Opisthokonta. Okay, animal and fungi are Opisthokonts with several closely related protists. Okay, this group includes both unicellular and multicellular protozoans. Okay, there are two types of Opisthokonts. First is choanoflagellates. These include unicellular as well as colonial forms. Animals like protozoans that are closely related to the sponges. Okay, there are filter feeders. Okay, beating of the flagellum creates a water current that flows through the collar where food particles are taken in by phagosynthesis. Okay, this is colonial choanoflagellates. Okay, first one is Coronosiga colony. It can anchor itself with a standard stalk. Okay, this one is Proterospomia colony. Shoulder it unattached. Okay, this is choanoflagellates. Okay, each choanoflagellate has a single posteroflagellum surrounded by a collar of slender microvilli. Okay, the last one is nuclearids. Opisthokonts with a rounded or slightly flattened cell body and three pseudopods called Tillopodia. Okay, most feed on algae or cyanobacteria. Okay, although they lack the characteristic cell walls found in fungi, molecular similarity suggests that nuclearids are closely relatives of fungi. Thank you.